Welcome to all of you, and welcome to all of you out there watching on our virtual rug. How about we get started with story time? I'm Miss Dearsha, and I'm your storyteller, and welcome to story time at our store. We're so glad you came to read and explore. Now, open your eyes and turn up those ears, because you never know who or what will appear. This morning, I have a very special guest storyteller today, and her name is Miss Cecilia Brubeck, and she has written a special book called Sammy the Flying Squirrel Who Was Afraid to Fly. And so Miss Cecilia is going to read to you this morning, and she's going to share with you that story, and then maybe we can talk to her afterward, okay? So please welcome Miss Cecilia Brubeck.
Thank you. I don't know if you could see what Sammy looks like on the cover. His eyes are kind of bugged out, like he's afraid. So this is the story about Sammy the Flying Squirrel who was afraid to fly. Sammy loved living up high in the trees with his family. Sammy would spend some of his time scampering from up and down and all over the different trees that were near his home oak tree. It was so much fun to jump from branch to branch, providing they weren't too far apart. See him up there? It's just like the cover. One day, looking down from his branch, Sammy saw a little red squirrel frantically digging first one spot and then another. Sammy was puzzled. Why was the little red squirrel digging? So down the tree trunk he went. "Hi, my name is Sammy. Who are you? And why are you digging?" "My name is Sarah, and I can't remember where I buried my acorns. It happens to me every fall. Will you help me?" asked Sarah. "Sure," said Sammy. "It sounds like fun." They spent the afternoon digging away. See, there's Sarah. She's tiny because he's really up high in the tree. Can you see something hiding in the bushes?
I can't see.
Can you see? Right there. There's somebody hiding. All right. Pretty soon they were chasing each other, that's Sarah and Sammy, and then rolling on the ground laughing. It didn't take very long for Sammy and Sarah to become fast friends. They decided that they would meet every day to play. From high up in the tree, Sammy's mother called to him to come up and practice flying. Sammy looked up to his mother saying, "Not today, not today. I want to play. I'll try to learn to fly tomorrow." Sarah looked at Sammy with a questioning look. Sammy just looked away and thought, "Maybe I'll tell you about it someday, Sarah." Under his breath, Sammy whispered to himself, "Maybe Sarah won't like me when she finds out that I'm afraid to fly." Sammy liked it best when he and his new friend Sarah would show up, and then they could play together. It was exciting to chase each other until they were breathless. They also liked to play hide and seek. The most fun was in the fall when they jumped into piles of leaves to see how far the leaves would scatter. The crunching sound of the leaves made them rolling on the ground in fits of laughter. See them right there? And now you can see this person even bigger. Except it's not a person, is it?
No.
Do you know?
My mom's name is Sarah.
What?
My mom's name is Sarah.
cool is that? Sammy and Sarah liked to look for delicious things to eat, like acorns, seeds, and moss. Sammy and Sarah also liked it in the spring when the flower buds appeared. Now that was a yummy treat. Has anybody eaten a flower? Anybody eaten any dirt?
No? Ew.
I did when I was little, because I didn't know any better. Every day, Sammy's older brother and sister would be high up in the trees practicing their gliding skills, jumping off a branch high up and catching a wonderful gust of wind. They would fly overhead before landing in another tree or on the ground with a soft thump. Their parents always offering instruction and encouragement, like I'm sure your parents always tell you you're doing a great job and what have you. They would call down to Sammy to come back up to the tree to practice, but Sammy would call over his shoulder, "Not today, not today, I want to play. I'll try and fly tomorrow." See, he's talking tough. When no one was looking, he would stop and watch how his siblings flew, gliding carefully from tree to tree. He wanted to learn to fly, but he was too scared to try. Each day would be the same. His family calling him, and Sammy gleefully calling back, "Not today, not today. I want to play. I'll try and fly tomorrow." With a sigh, his parents would say, "Well, okay, but you and Sarah keep an eye out for Thomas, the terrible Tomcat."
I think I saw it in the back of one of. Oh, that. Yeah.
There he is. Thomas was always lurking about, hiding, watching, and just waiting for the chance to create some mischief. Thomas, the terrible Tomcat, had only one eye because he lost the eye in a fight with another cat. Some of his gray fur was missing in spots, and one of his ears wouldn't stand upright anymore. Thomas, the terrible Tomcat, had scratches and scars all over his dirty gray fur. Thomas, the terrible Tomcat, didn't like how much fun Sammy and Sarah had playing, jumping, and hiding together. He was jealous of their friendship and how well they played and laughed together. See, you can really see him there. That's probably because he doesn't have any friends. Oh, did I scare him? One day, while Sammy and Sarah were running up and down high in an ash tree after a heavy rain, Sarah slipped and fell. Down, down, down she went, falling through the branches to the ground. She hit the ground with a hard thump and lay there dazed. Thomas, the terrible Tomcat, had been watching. He saw his opportunity and slowly closer, getting ready to pounce on Sarah. From up in the tree, Sammy could see what was about to happen. Taking a deep breath, he said to himself, today's the day. I must fly today. I must save my friend Sarah." With that, he took a running leap, caught a gust of wind, and soared, using his tail to steer him towards Sarah and rescue her. See, here comes Thomas. And there's Sammy up there. Can you see him? This next picture is my favorite picture. With a big thump, Sammy landed on the back of Thomas the terrible Tomcat, who jumped, very surprised and scared. Thomas the bully thought he could overpower one girl squirrel. He hadn't seen Sammy coming. Thomas the terrible Tomcat had never been hit so hard. He shook off Sammy and ran away. Sarah got up on shaking feet and smiled up at Sammy. "Thank you for saving me. It's good to have a friend." "I was scared to fly," said Sammy, "but more scared that Thomas would hurt you. And now I guess I finally am able to fly." Up in the tree, Sammy's family were jumping up and down, cheering. Today was the day that Sammy flew and saved the day. Hip, hip, hooray. And that's the end of the story. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Who did you like best, Sarah or Sammy or Thomas the Terrible Tomcat?
Which one did you like? Which one did you like?
I like them all. You know?
I like Sammy.
Yeah, I like Sammy too. See,
Sarah.
did you like the story? Which part did you like the best? You know, we're all afraid of something, and it helps when we have a friend that we can talk to, right? And they can help us get over the fear. Well, I guess that could be it.
Thank
My
you.
favorite part is
Thank you to Miss Cecilia
Thank
for
you.
coming today. I just have one. Yep, thank you. So I have to tell you that Miss Cecilia, if you noticed on the front of her books, she's got this little sticker. So she has just won the 2021, right? Firebird Book Award for this book, and she was nominated for a couple of others. Are you still waiting to hear on those, or you're just
There's about 10 of them.
okay?
Oh,
Okay, so she's
congratulations.
Thank
so
you.
this is an award-winning book that you just heard here. So that's pretty great. Miss Cecilia, I do like to ask at least how did you come to write Sammy the Flying Squirrel?
I was talking to, I have 6 grandchildren, and I was driving 2 of them home, and I have all these stories that are in my head, and they're always about animals, because I think children can relate to animals if you give them human qualities. And so I was talking to Kevin and Katie, and I was saying, you know, I've got Sammy the Flying Squirrel, but what can he do? And then I thought, you know, it would be a great story about being afraid to fly and not telling anybody, because he would be afraid that people wouldn't like him once they found out he had a fear. And we all have something that we're afraid of. I know that I used to be really afraid of going in those glass elevators, because I always thought, oh my gosh, what if the door would open and I would fall out? So what I did was I would stand facing the wall so I wouldn't look out the glass windows while the elevator was going up. So that was the way I dealt with my fears. Does anybody have any fears that they would like to share? Or are you all just so brave? Probably.
I have them, but I'm not sharing.
Yeah, as you get older, you know, you learn coping
I have a
mechanisms.
fear of snakes.
Snakes.
Snakes? Oh,
I will say bugs. That's a big one for me.
or spiders.
They don't bother me.
I love
Spider. Now, you know, my husband always laughs at me because it's like, oh my God, look, there's a spider on the wall. And he goes, you're so much bigger than it is. And it's like, no, but it can jump on me. So,
feels very different.
It does, it
You're
does.
the one who's afraid.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Miss Cecilia, once more for being here with us this morning.
Well, thank you.
And I want to remind everybody to please tune in next week. We have another very special Storytime guest. But this one is going to be done in a very special way. We're going to do them Facebook Live because the author can't be here in the store. But they are a native to Fernandina Beach and Amelia Island. And the book is called African Proverbs for All Ages. We're going to have the author, who is Dr. Janetta Betch-Cole, as well as the illustrator, Miss Nelda Latif. They're going to join us next week. So you can come in store and you'll see them up on this big screen, or you can stay there at home on the virtual story run. But please tune in next week. And I'll see all of you next time. Bye-bye.